Mars in 5th house. The planet Mars is the giver of immense potency, for which it strengthens the aspects of this house, and so on. The natives born with Mars in 5th house will carry immense vigor and would be very energetically inclined towards the worldly pleasures upon this land. They carry very muscular and impulsive personality and love to confront risks and challenges in life, but they lack at the side of patience. The natives of this placement of Mars in 5th house or above would be quite aggressive in their approach, besides which they are quite attached to materialistic comforts and are somewhat showy in their attitude. They would be somewhat possessive in their relationships and could also become jealous at times. They are also endowed with creative and artistic attributes. The natives of this placement having Mars in 5th house or above would be liked and admired by their friends for being vigorous, affectionate and fun-loving, but they will face some problems in intimate relationships and would often change partners. These people having Mars in 5th house are believed to have energetic and active children, besides which their sons would become a reason of affluence and prosperity in life, and there will be explicit growth in the native's life after the birth of son. The things related to planet Venus and Moon will appear beneficial and truly positive for the person. This placement of Mars in 5th house would appear more pleasing with the span of time in life, but the immoral relationships with opposite sex would result very adversely for the native and will be the main reason behind lack of peace and agony for the person. The natives of this placement having Mars in 5th house should stay on the moral path and should keep her character pure. They should worship and pay respect to their ancestors and should plant a neem tree in the housing arena. They should keep a water pot below the head side of your bed for the whole night and should drop the same water in a flower pot in the morning. Mars in Gemini. Gemini is an air sign governed by Mercury, which is an earthy neutral planet. Mercury and Mars are inimical towards each other, so this placement has quite a lot of contradictory energies working together. When the intellect of Mercury meets the energy of Mars, the native is often a logical and intelligent being, skilled at many arts. Such a person is quite active and involved. Mercury also gives the native a strong foothold in poetry and passion. These people are highly intelligent and quick learners. They also have a strong desire to go abroad. Gemini is a dual sign, and when Mars is placed in it, the native is likely to have good sense of judgment and laws. Such a person often indulges in superficial romantic encounters and relationships. These natives have a habit of pursuing new experiences in romance and love matters. However, they are constantly restless, like on a high-strung mode. They do quite well in sports, especially cricket. There is a lot of nervous energy in their temperament, which keep them stressed and mentally drained all the time. Their mind is always occupied by something, which keeps them agitated and distressed. These natives should practice calming activities such as meditation to quiet their overactive mind. Third Lord in the 5th house. When the third Lord is placed in the 5th house, the person put intellectual effort. If the planet in good dignity, then the native put effort towards speculation, and gets quick business results, not afraid to take risk, active in the field of entertainment, games, and amusements, have childlike enthusiasm, motivated towards acquiring scriptural knowledge, and prefer action-oriented spiritual techniques such as Tai Chi. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person have difficulty with romantic partner, aggressive behavior with romantic partners, younger siblings create losses in speculations, difficulty in mediation, sometimes take wrong action, children are misbehaved, may get into tax problems from taking too many risks with government. 10th Lord in the 5th house. The person have career through intelligence. If the planet in good dignity, then the person shines well as a broker and engages in speculation and similar business. The person can be investor, tax consultant, lawyer, in big corporation jobs, teaches spiritual technique. The person leads a simple and pious life, engaging himself in prayers and pious activities. Focused on children of air, may become the head of an orphanage or remand home. Jobs comes easily due to past life karmas, can be in sports and entertainment field. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the office romance can bring problem in career, children cause complication at work area, not successful in speculation or similar career. Mars in 6th house. The planet Mars is the giver of supreme potency to the natives, for which it also empowers the aspects of 6th house in this placement. The placement of planet Mars in 6th house would make the native emerge as highly vigorous and active persona at the workplace. The natives of this placement of Mars in 6th house are truly sincere and serious towards work, besides which they carry lumps of energy to their workplace and strictly wants others as well to possess the same, as they will hate lethargic personalities in the work arena. They are strong hard workers who would put all the effort to accomplish their work well. These people are quite aggressive also and can easily turn irritated, which would be the main reason for their bitter relations at workplace, and for the same, they could have some enemies and foes as well in the professional arena. The people born with Mars in their 6th house would not be flexible in their attitude, neither they would provide freedom for work to their co-workers. Apart from this, they are overly concerned at their workplace and could acquire unreasonable worries at times. They are quite impatient at work. They are intellectual and skilled at organizing and analyzing. No doubt they are really good at work, but they also want the recognition for the same. The natives of this placement of Mars in 6th house would receive admiration from their superiors and are believed to succeed in their professional arena for always giving their best, besides which bringing some softness and flexibility in their attitude could improve the work environment around them. The natives of this placement of Mars in 6th house would be benefited from the trading and business related to Mercury stuff. Besides this, the placement of Sun, Saturn and Mars together in the 6th house would bring problems to the brothers, sisters, wife and mother of the native. The native's brothers should offer him, her something and should pay him, her respect, as it will bring them prosperity and would defend them from adverse impacts. The native should distribute salt instead of sweets on the birth of son, and her son should never wear gold for the good of native. The native should pay worship to the Lord Ganesha for the well-being of her parents and to win over the enemies, besides which pursuing the remedies of planet Saturn will also bring betterment in the native's life. Mars in Cancer. Cancer is a movable water sign ruled by Moon, which is a feminine watery planet. Mars on the other hand is a fierce and masculine planet, but it shares a friendly relationship with Moon, so the placement of Mars in Cancer turns out well for a native. If you have Mars in Cancer, you are likely to value your physical energy more than your emotional strength. A mix of Moon and Martian energy make the person mentally strong and resolute, since Moon represents mind and Mars represents power. Such natives need an outlet for their reserve of energy, and they tend to express their energy in an emotional fashion due to the influence of Moon. These natives are not demanding and assertive, instead, they tend to be compromising in nature. However, that doesn't mean that you can make them compromise on their beliefs. Natives with Mars in Cancer tend to be independent and hardworking. They make serious efforts to realize their ambitions. Due to overflow of feelings, Moon, and sensual needs, Mars, these people tend to be overly passionate in love and sexual matters. They do well in sports, especially water-based. Sailing also appeals a lot to these people. Third Lord in the 6th house. When the third Lord is placed in the 6th house, the person makes effort to serve. If the planet in good dignity, then the native's efforts eventually come to success, motivated to healing and self-improvement, interest in protective service, may work in armed force, police, and security work, skilled in self-defense. Younger siblings succeed in medical, legal, and defense field, protect and protected by siblings. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person puts lot of effort but not able to get reward, struggle with artistic skill, overstimulated, angry, combative, deceptive, double dealer, does not able to get along with younger siblings, trouble with law, communication and writing problems, inflammatory health problems, troubles with pets, hearing problems, prone to accidents, and pain in arms, hands, and have digestive problems. 10th Lord in the 6th house. The person have career through service. If the planet in good dignity, then the person will have an occupation of medical, legal, security areas, exercise, physical or massage therapist, animal worker, gets boost from maternal relations, very good at providing service. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person have manuals jobs, struggle to keep working, low paying occupations, dispute and enemies at workplace, may get dishonor, lawsuits at work, hurt career, gets into debts, lives outside their means, low paying jobs in the service industry. If debilitated Rahu or debilitated Malefic are with the 10th Lord in the 6th house, the person may suffer disgrace in his career. He may be exposed to criminal action and face imprisonment. Need to careful. Mars in 7th house. The planet Mars is the giver of immense potency and makes human beings strong from the core, but it also bestows aggression and impatience, which is the reason for its being malefic at times. The arrival of planet Mars in the 7th house would bring some adverse effects upon the native's life, and it will provide an average path of relationships for these natives. The natives born under this placement of Mars in 7th house are perceived to confront problems in their conjugal path, as they would find difficulties in getting married as well as during their walk over the conjugal path. Besides this, they won't have much and many strong relations in the outer world, as they would face some problems in their professional arena as well. The main reason behind all of these problems will be their hasty and impatient attitude and their violent mental composure. Besides this, they would get surrounded by similar aggressive people in the personal as well as professional enclosure. This placement is pleasant for taking the native towards good heights in the arena of sales and marketing, for the native being competitive at the core. The natives of this placement of Mars in 7th house would confront conflicts and quarrels in their relationships and would lead unstable conjugal path, for which they would lack peace in their marital life. These natives having Mars in 7th bhava are advised to marry someone who could understand them well and who would possess a mature attitude. These people having Mars in 7th bhava are quiet and flexible about other opinion, for which they are advised to give a thought even to oppositions, as they could also be at the right side at times. They should try to avoid arguments. The 7th house receives the influences of both Venus and Mercury, which together provides the impacts of Sun. Therefore, the placement of Mars here receives the impacts of Sun as well, and so on. The native would attain strong positions in the professional and social arena and would be bestowed with good affluence and heights. Apart from this, if Mercury get placed along with the planet Mars, then it will bring adverse impacts upon all the aspects associated with Mercury, as there would be problems with sister-in-law, nurses, maidservants, goats, parrots, etc. In such placement, the natives are advised to stay away from all of mentioned above. The natives born with Mars in 7th house should place a solid piece of silver in her house and should offer sweets to daughter, sister, sister-in-law and widows. He or she should build a small wall and destroy it every time after rebuilding it. These measures would bring betterment in the natives' lives. Mars in Leo. The Lord of Leo is Sun, which is friend with Mars. Both Mars and Sun are masculine fiery planets. This is a positive placement because the person gets the abilities from Mars and the confidence to shine out from the Sun. People born with Mars in Leo are quite helpful and generous in nature. They are clever and intelligent and know how to use their abilities wisely. These natives tend to have many tricks up their sleeves. This position of Mars also gives a fondness for travel and love for hilly places and forests. Penchant for poetry and fine arts is also possible with Mars in Leo. Mars here also gives a great capacity to learn. Their physical energy is boundless and their creativity outshines. These people also have a strong willpower and confidence. Leadership quality is ingrained in their personality. While they can be demonstrative physically, they are quite affectionate beings from inside. These people are always in an excited mood and keep the aura of a room filled with exuberance. Mars in Leo people take pride in their sexual abilities. Excessive passion and pride can also bring them to fame and troubles though. Third Lord in the 7th house. When the third Lord is placed in the 7th house, the person puts efforts in partnerships. If the planet in good dignity, then the native have good business transactions with younger siblings. Efforts done in partnership bring success. has fun and adventure with partner, success in business related to sales, marketing, seminars and others informative and persuasive skill activities, short distance traveling for business. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person is too stimulated for successful partnerships, have high sex drive, partner will be exciting and pleasure seeking, troubles with siblings especially in business partnership, siblings cause problems in marriage. 10th Lord in the 7th house. The person have career through partnership. If the planet is in good dignity, then the person will have a partner who will assist the native in his work. The person experts at relationship and diplomacy, keeps balance with others. The person may travel abroad on diplomatic missions, will be well known for his skill in talking and achieving objectives, make profits through partnerships and cooperative ventures, profitable business agreements. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person have problem from the spouse. The spouse is not supportive, bad partnerships could hinder career, needs to draw line between business and inappropriate affairs. Mars in 8th house. The planet Mars is a giver of immense potency and is a powerful celestial presence which would further provide strength to every aspect around. The placement of Mars in the 8th house would provide an energetic and vigorous approach towards the life, besides which it will provide the blend of both positive and negative impacts upon the native's life. The natives born under this placement of Mars in 8th house would be quite hasty and aggressive in their attitude and would put all of their efforts and hard work to reach the pinnacle. Besides this, they are born with a strong intellect and vision to perceive the truth well. For the same reasons, they would be naturally inclined towards investigation and researches in which they could grow really high, as well as in arenas associated with medicine, law and finance. Besides this, they are very efficient in bringing out solutions and untangling the threads. These people having Mars in 8th house possess invincible strength and are quite firm in their path once they have decided, for which they are believed to achieve what they want to. These people having Mars in 8th bhava are believed to succeed in their professional arena, but they won't be much satisfied at their relationships and even could feel the lack of love and warmth in their personal life. These natives having Mars in 8th bhava could bear the losses in joint financial aspects. There could be some financial problems in natives' path. The presence of Mars in the 8th house would bring some colors of scorpions in the attitude, for which these natives could be somewhat disguised and covetous at times, but they would expect the loyalty from others so that they could also stay like the same. They could be aggressive and reserved in their temperament and would be strongly passionate at the core. The presence of Mars in the 8th house would bring adverse impacts upon the younger brothers of the native, besides which the immense firmness in the native's attitude could also become the reason of losses at times. They should pay respect and services to widows and should wear a silver chain for the reduction of malefic effects. These people having Mars in 8th house should offer sweets and bread prepared on tandoor to dogs for the betterment, and should offer rice, gran pulse and jaggery in the sacred places meant worship. They should build a small dark room at the end of your house in such a way that no sunlight would enter it. They should bury a earthen pot filled with tishi candina near to a cremation ground. Mars in Virgo. Virgo is a dual earth sign ruled by Mercury, which shares an inimical relationship with Mars. While Mars is a fiery masculine planet that concerns itself with passion, ambition and energy, Mercury is a neutral earth planet that relates to intellect and wisdom. Virgo natives tend to pay attention to the little details. Since Mars represents weapons and Mercury represents concentration, a meeting of their energies in Virgo makes the native skillful in fields such as medicine, nursing and surgery. Mars in Virgo also gives a strong drive for sex. It wards the native with the knowledge of writing and poetry. These natives also do well in mechanical fields. Influence of Mercury tames down the aggression of Mars, thus the native is of a sweet and tactful disposition. These people plan their projects carefully before making any decision. They earn a lot of fame in life and are quite dedicated to their work. While they may not be as creative and innovative, but their observation and attention to details is exceptional. At times, these people are overly energetic mentally. They can be quite argumentative too. Lack of tolerance and a demanding nature at times also affects them negatively in life. Third Lord in the 8th house. When the third Lord is placed in the 8th house, the person has support with effort. If the planet in good dignity, then the native gets support from neighbor and younger siblings have good stamina to research something like secret of someone or can be in detective field. Sibling may be in healing and spiritual or mystical side and have long life. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person can lack in energy, not able to put effort in something, weak in creativity and self-expression. Younger siblings may have chronic health problems, or they can create problems. The person can have health problem related with ear, shoulder, hand and neck. 10th Lord in the 8th house. The person have career of the mystery. If the planet is in good dignity, then the person is good researcher and analyst, spy or detective, involved in healing and medical fields, insurance, estate planning, affairs of the dead, interest in psychology factors at work, mystical, spiritual, and psychologist. If Jupiter is the 10th Lord in the 8th house, he will become a mystic or spiritual teacher. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person has many breaks in career, lack in self-promotion, fearful at workplace, does not ask enough for themselves, scandals, damaged career, may not get the full credits for their business success, may work unethical or inappropriate methods. If Saturn 10th Lord in 8th house, the person an undertaker or otherwise employed in burning gates or in graveyards, etc.